Hey friends, today I'm piddling around the garden tackling some much needed pruning, making an unexpected discovery, a mysterious nest, and taking time to observe how everything is coming along in February. Let's see what's happening out in my garden. Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a fellow gardening friend. Okay, so it is February 1st and I guess I'm outside in short sleeves. It's a little chilly, but I'm fine. And I am dying to work in the garden. So I think I'm going to piddle around today. I'm going to do some pruning, which is my favorite therapy in the entire world, is pruning, and kind of start peeking around to check out some plants. I think I'm going to pull some weeds. We're going to do a variety of little things. I think we're going to work on my snapdragons a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy this kind of come along in the garden today. Okay, so right here is one of the new raised beds that I added this last year. And I'm just going to come in and cut back some of the annuals. This used to be a vinca. So I just want to clean this up a little bit and see what's going on. And you'll notice I'm not going to be doing a lot of like pulling. It's because I can't really remember exactly what was in this bed. And I don't want to accidentally pull up any perennials. Since this is a newer bed, I don't want to pull up any perennials by accident. That would make me really sad. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to see the soil and the space. Okay, right here we've got some baby blue eucalyptus that is overwintered beautifully. I grew it from seed last year, and we've got some right here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of trim back because I would like fresh stuff. You can see that, it's very, very pretty. Right here we've got some sedum, which I'm not really sure why I planted that there, considering it probably doesn't get as much sunlight as it would like, but we'll leave it there for now. And then this right here, I believe, is a salvia of some type, and it's already pushing new growth too, which is exciting. And I'm really looking at the soil level, and this soil level has not dropped a lot, which typically drops more in a beginner brand new garden. Hasn't done that, which is nice. This is also where I grew the loofah and birdhouse gourds up over it. I think that I'm going to be installing an Eden climbing rose here. So that'll be really fun. I'm probably going to be storing it off to this corner, I think, so that it gets a little bit more light. But I think I might also mix it with the clematis, so that'll be super fun. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, I had already trimmed back a salvia and some vinca that was here. I think this is verbena. Trim that back a little bit. And this right here is a sedum. And it was a larger sedum that I had cut back, or that I had divided and moved to this location. This right here is a vinca, and the vincas won't come back. But I'll just go ahead and leave them and their roots in there to nourish the soil. Got some baby blue eucalyptus. And I'm going to forget the name of this guy. It's citrium. I'll put it down below. There's a perennial, and it's already pushing new growth on it, which is exciting. The goal with this is to train it up into some major branches. I don't want a lot of little branches like this. So you're going to go ahead and see me cutting some of that back, and I think we're just going to go down to, I think, 3 branches. Just like that. 3 main branches, just like that. I think that looks good. Yeah. And then I've got some clover trying to grow here. And this soil is soft enough that I can really just drag my hands through. Oh, here's the tag. I knew I would. What does my tag say? What are you? It says 3-gallon plant. Why do I even have this tag on here if it doesn't have the name? I'll take that off. So the soil is soft enough I can really just come along and drive my fingers through it. And that is dislodging the weeds. And like this weed over here is carrot or Queen Anne's lace. Right. This soil is looking really nice. Over here is also where I grew loofah. You can still see some of the remnants here hanging on. And I do intend on, I think I'm going to saw potentially a crossvine or a honeysuckle up the side. Haven't really decided exactly what. Maybe another climbing rose. Something pretty and something fun. Oh my gosh, just having my hands in the soil feels really good. And there's a lot of debris right here. And you can toss that up or out, or you can break it down and work it into the soil. We don't want to leave too much standing debris as it can invite pests and disease. And I'm just taking all of my cuttings and moving them to one big pile. Okay, I'm going to clean up my snowman topiaries a little bit. I'm just removing, those are the petunias. And just so you know, these petunias were here until like mid-January, y'all. It's glorious. So I'm doing a little cutback. There are some violas and pansies tucked in here. This right here is a dianthus. Starting to come back. Clean off some of the old leaves at the bottom of the ornamental kale and cabbage. There's some alyssum, and it's trying to come back too. So really just removing some of the dead old growth, just so it doesn't look as beat up. So I'm pulling those old leaves out from underneath it, the cabbage. Let me move y'all closer. So all these leaves, just kind of pull out, clean out underneath there. All right, and then right here, some old dianthus. It's a white dianthus, so that'll be really fun because it'll blend with a lot of stuff. I'll also, in early spring, I'll end up cutting out these cabbage and ornamental kale and replacing them with something else. And I'll probably put something, obviously, I'll move the snowman topiary and we'll put them away for the year and put something else nice and fresh out here. Would love to find rabbit topiaries. How fun would that be? Oh my gosh, I would love that so much. That'd be so fun for spring. Okay, it's really fun pulling off these outer leaves on the cabbage. Who'd have thunk? This cabbage is a little worse for wear, but it'll continue to fill out. All right, and then I think lastly, I'm going to remove the red and white ribbons. A little Christmassy. A little lopsided with the cabbage kale. It's fine. They're only going to be here about another maybe 6 weeks anyway. And then we will refresh these containers, which I'm really excited about. Let's look at my snapdragons. Okay, these are snapdragons that I planted out in late fall, and then they overwintered out here. And snapdragons love cooler weather. We got some wonky, crazy stems that we want to go ahead and start trimming back a little bit. So what the deal is I'm going to try to locate a plant, and then I'm going to come in here and cut off the long tendrils of the plant. So that's one plant right there. So then I'm going to come over here to another one, and I'm really just cutting off anything long and wonky, because I would like them to refocus their efforts of growing fresh stems, because a lot of these stems are not new. A lot of these are older. The fresh growth is these smaller ones that are down low. That's all the fresh growth. It's like coming in here. This is one plant right here. And you can see all like the young growth right here. And then all of this off to the side is old growth. So we want to pull that. And all these new shoots will become flowers. And I'm not cutting these long stems like all the way to the base of the plant. I'm cutting about 2 to 3 inches above the plant. Because with snapdragons, if you want them to keep blooming for you, you got to leave a little bit of each stem. You got to leave a few sets of leaves down there. But see how that clears up all that space? All those old stems in there. Looks like we lost a few plants here and there, but not many. Now, if we get a really harsh deep freeze, I'll probably cover these because they have so much new growth on them already. We do have iris coming up here too. They're Dutch iris. It'll be really pretty to see them intermixed blooming with the snapdragons. As I'm getting in here, I am seeing some green dragon crest seedlings. So I'm trying to remove those as I'm going. Definitely don't want those taking over this bed. Okay, that looks so much better. And it makes me excited to realize, oh goodness, it makes me excited to realize how many of the snapdragons made it. Let's say 90%. And just coming in and loosening up the soil where all of this green cress is. And get rid of that. Don't plant green cress, y'all, or green dragon cress. These are lilies. I think they're lilies trying to come up. It's crazy. Looks good. My back hurts already. Too much bending over. Okay, this is solidago. It's pretty on my area. And all of these branches are the old growth from last year. And then you can see all the fresh new growth coming up. Beautiful. That looks really nice. And then this over here is heirloom chrysanthemums that I think are going to probably get moved because I don't think they're have enough space, and I don't think they love their soil right here. Shift myself back in here. So this is my Don Juan rose, and this vine right here is a Jackmani clematis, and it is already putting off new growth. So I'm just going to kind of tease it gently up the Don Juan because that is the goal of this. Would love for my Don Juan roses to be covered with these beautiful Jackmani blooms. Here's some more. And I started the Jackmani from bare root. Really great cost-effective way to start clematis because it can be a pricey plant. And I do need to get in here and clean up a lot of this debris and stuff but from the rose, but I'm going to do that in a rose video that I will have coming up. Sweet. Feels good. I can see that the Don Juan is already pushing a lot of new growth, which is incredibly exciting. Okay, now this area over here was all basil, mostly basil. There's some other things tucked in here. Looks like I have some weeds to deal with a little bit in my garden paths. Those aren't hard to deal with. Let me get down here low. So I'm not really wanting to turn over the soil, meaning pull up each of these plants. Because that will disturb some of the seedlings that might already be getting started in here. So I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to start cutting back the basil branches. Now, this basil is annual, so it's not going to come back. However, it did drop a lot of seeds, and I'm already seeing a ton of seeds. Little baby seedlings in here. Oh, it smells so good still. So even if these seedlings don't make it, because I see a lot of them trying to come up, if they get a freeze and they all die back, I am starting a bunch from seed as well. Some new varieties, a lot of purple. I wanted to grow a lot of purple this year. So I can always replace as needed. But I'm definitely seeing stuff come up. So I want to go ahead, cut this back, and make room for the new growth. And I do want to be able to apply some slow release fertilizer here. Don't know if I'm going to do that today. I really just feel like doing lots of pruning because it makes me happy. Now all of this green growth you see back there are iris, Dutch iris. And then I also have a bunch of Dara coming up, which reseeds every year. I don't ever have to replant it. It's like a wild carrot kind of situation. It's definitely a nest back here. Trying to go through this carefully on this nest. And really hoping that there's not baby rabbits in here. It looks a little small for a armadillo burrow. I don't think that's what it was. So I think there's a lot of eggs over here. Let me show y'all. I'm thinking maybe snake. Look at that. Looks like eggs, right? Eggshells. See them? They're kind of everywhere. There's another one. I think what we had was most likely garden snakes. So I'm going to proceed with caution. I don't know what it was. Maybe not snakes. But let me go get something to dig in there where I don't have to be close to it. I do think that whatever was there, I'm going to try not to scream if something comes up, is potentially gone at this point because all those eggs are already hatched. If y'all know what those eggs are, let me know. I'm glad it's gone. Yeah, lots of eggshells. I would say a dozen. And it was just right in here. They had just built a nest right in there. Moving on. To remind myself, wildlife is good for the garden. I like wildlife. I like wildlife. It's okay. Don't be scared of wildlife. Freaking snakes. That there was the mammoth basil that I grew, literally called mammoth. And a few zinnia plants back here. Okay, I'm gonna clip down, I grew cantaloupe on these trellis. I'll pull down my bags that held the cantaloupe. Some of them have some old rotted stuff in there because I did not harvest in time, but it's fine. Lesson learned. They were fun to grow. And I think what I'm going to end up doing here is also doing some climbing roses, or I might do a honeysuckle here. I don't know. I'd like for it to be really full, so it can lend a little bit of shade to the garden this way, because this is west. I really like the idea of layering different vines that have different blooming cycles so that I could have flowers on here for longer. All right, I think I'm gonna stop for now because I gotta go pick up kids from school. But let's look at our winter sowing. Oh, so we definitely got more stuff coming. Sweet peas, those are about ready to be potted up. No green milkweed yet. More sweet peas here. This guy looks a little dry, so we might hit him with some water. Lupine. No bells of Ireland. Oh, yeah, we do. Right there, little bitty seedling coming up. Alaska blue columbine, nothing. Lots of liatris. Canterbury bells coming up. No delphinium, which is sad. Verbascum is coming up. No milkweed there. No black-eyed Susan. No weatherwort. No solidago. And no delphinium. Let me go ahead and water these lightly. All right, and I'm just going to use my don't want to disturb them too much. Just like that. It's light watering. It's the first time I've actually had a water. Maybe I'll try to fill this up a little bit. It's actually the first time I've had a water since I started these. So there are holes in the bottom. I can fill this out because the water will drain out slowly. So we'll give an opportunity for the soil to suck up some of the water. So I'm going to fill this up pretty far. Okay. And the water will leak out the bottom. And then we'll just put this back on, nice and secure. Okay, felt good. Broke a little bit of sweat, which is nice. I figured I would do that. Hand hurts. Haven't done the pruning in a while. It felt nice. It's nice to see some of the soil and to see some of the plants coming up. Not nice to see a bed from some wildlife with hatched eggs. Oh, God. It's a no for me on snakes. No, I'd rather have spiders. Much rather have spiders. Snakes is a no for me. One time, one time at a different property, we lived on a couple of acres, and I was feeding my baby daughter. She couldn't have been 2. She was in a high chair in the kitchen. I was feeding her, and something touched my foot, and I looked down, and there was a snake on the floor in our kitchen. And being the wonderful mother that I am, I freaked out and started screaming. So my baby started screaming. My husband was at work. I didn't know what to do. I left my baby in the high chair, ran out of the house to next door neighbors and got him to come over, and he got the snake and got it out. He hated snakes as well, and his name was Tony. And we were both like, oh! I literally left my child there. It did not even occur to me to grab her up. She's in the high chair. She was safe, and it was just a little garden snake. Like it was no big. The snake was like that big. Like it was no big deal. But oh my gosh, yeah, no, it's a no for snakes. Okay. Anyway, felt good to do some work out here. You're going to be seeing more of these videos, just me getting out here, piddling around, trying out some stuff, moving some things, starting to clean up some beds and prep for spring coming. We'll be applying compost and mulch in different areas, slow release fertilizer. I have a video coming up where we're going to do roses, and I'm going to talk to you through each of the steps of pruning your roses. And I've got a wide variety. We've got climbing roses, we've got shrub roses, I've got tree roses. There's a lot of different varieties of roses that I currently have now, and so we'll be messing around with that as well. I also have a video coming up about how to reconstitute old potting soil so that you don't have to buy new potting soil. And that's one of my big budget things that I'm hoping to do this year, because the amount of money I've spent on potting soil is quite a bit. So I'd like to reconstitute a lot of that, but feeling good. I hope you guys are able to start getting out into your garden. If not, I hope you're dreaming of spring to come and the work that you can do out in your garden. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the channel so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out on my social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I also started a Patreon community. It's a group, much smaller group of gardeners, and we share pictures and we chat about our gardens. I have exclusive content up there that is not available on YouTube or anywhere else. And I chat a lot and show a lot about what I'm doing on a daily basis. It's really, really fun, much more intimate group for learning and sharing. And it's always just really nice to be surrounded by people who love gardening as much as you do. All right, you all, as always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.